I believe that development education is providing the opportunities and facilitating the projects for students to enable them to develop the skills necessary for global citizenship, really, whilst they themselves will develop personally, their own knowledge about global issues and gain in confidence as well, and see themselves not just as an individual but as an individual in a global context.
The DevEd course, the way it's structured, it's a modular-based syllabus, and the issues, the different issues are based in the Millennium Development Goals, and teachers can dip in and dip out of the different themes to suit maybe a science class or a geography class or an SPHE class, or maybe in religion. So it's not like that a DevEd teacher has to start and finish a textbook, syllabus-driven textbook. They kind of can dip in and dip out to suit themselves. Like poverty and human rights is a sort of a core starting place, and then depending on the group and the talents of the group, you can steer it in whichever way you feel meets the needs of the students that you have at that particular year.
I certainly feel the way the world is going, with global warming and the economic situation, I think it's a must. I think it's absolutely essential that second level students get some kind of a taste of the issues involved, because they're issues that they're not just out there, they're not just a few thousand miles away across an ocean anymore, they're issues that are on our own doorstep.
Coming from third year into transition year are introduced to DevEd for the first time, and in the main they really know nothing about DevEd. They might touch a little bit in CSP or SPHE, or maybe sustainability in geography, but they really don't have any real concept of DevEd issues, and that's where I come in. So I just love the model, I love the outline, the structure of the syllabus, and it's a book, it's in one place, and the resources are all online on the website, and it makes it easy for teachers to teach this DevEd program. They don't have to find resources. They're really top quality. As I say, they're online, and like the thing about teaching DevEd is I'm not a teacher, really. I'm a mentor, I'm a facilitator, and I don't have all the answers, and it's kind of refreshing. Like it makes me a better teacher, I think, in my regular classroom to have the DevEd experience, because I know I haven't got the answers. The students know I haven't got the answers, and together, collectively, we can source the experts through NGOs, through combat diseases of poverty, and we can work in partnership. And I just love the way we have workshops every year for all our students to attend, and then we have training days as teachers as well. So I would recommend every school in Ireland to engage with development education, because if we're to meet our mission statements of all our students reaching their full potential, and to work maybe in partnership with YSI, the two add great value to each other. They embark on a journey of personal development, and they're dealing with very adult issues, and they're very young, like as young as 15 and turning 16. And the active methodologies like walking debates and simulation games and just the open discussion of it like brings them to address adult issues in a very mature way.
Yeah, I think the word development has taken on a very broad meaning in our school here as well. The development that we're looking at initially here is development education, as in our developing world. What the students have developed personally, they've developed projects linked with this as well, and I think we're only seeing the beginning of the developments here in that area.
It's almost like some sort of cloud has been lifted and the world is revealed to them for what it really is, especially when they see the significance of how they themselves, their actions and their own family's actions and the impact, the small things they can do, even here and now, how they can impact on global issues. And has inspired them to act at home and to become involved in the various projects and initiatives that I would organise for them, but that the school would organise as well.
Our students have to go from the narrow focus of just their own world and their own school and their own community and just explore outside of themselves, and to through their personal journey to address the bigger issues.
I think the earlier students are introduced to a topic like this, the better, obviously. Curriculum constraints could obviously be a problem with that, and that is the area perhaps that needs to be looked at on a more school-wide, even education-wide basis. But certainly I think students could be made aware of these issues much younger. They perhaps would not have the same abilities as until they have come to a certain age, or maybe even as regards consent if it goes further than the classroom towards travel eventually to one of these countries. But there's certainly no harm in getting them involved from an early age.
Young people are they're very, very willing to become involved, and they're very sympathetic. We began ourselves with CSP with the concept of interdependence, and that in itself just planted a tiny seed which mushroomed into numerous different things that have happened over the last number of years at the school. And it's the students that have initiated a lot of it. They have had the desire. I'm merely just facilitating and pointing them to the various opportunities that are out there.
I think TY is a great place to experiment with things like this as well, and seeing the results that are very positive to date, I think it would be very beneficial if it could be introduced even further than TY. But certainly it's having excellent results at TY at this level.
Yeah, and it's good, at least they're getting the opportunity to start. So it's sowing the seed and trying to whet their interest in development education. And as they mature into adults, I'm sure that having experienced it at this level, they will keep their interest in development education and in the matter for the developing world.
I think all transition year coordinators should introduce DevEd into their transition year programme in their schools. It's just an amazing journey of self-discovery for our students. And like in a class group where you're teaching DevEd, every child, every student in the group is included. And it's not about being academic. It's not just about being creative. Like all the different levels and types of intelligences have their place in that particular group. And the opportunity, like in my own school, the doors of opportunity that have been introduced to us and open to us, to our TY students, has been just phenomenal. Like last July, our students met Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General of the United Nations, in government buildings in Dublin. Like Maynooth University hosted a reception for our students specifically because of their win with Young Social Innovators 2009. So we've had media opportunities, press opportunities. You know, you can bring the DevEd project to as high a level as you wish. And for teachers thinking of teaching DevEd, the syllabus is there. It was written by teachers for teachers. It works. It's real. The resources are fantastic. You could have DVD. You could have worksheets. You could have guest speakers. You could have photo packs. So all the resources are actually there in one place, and it makes it easy for teachers to teach it. You know, teachers are busy people, and they don't need to be asked to teach yet another program where you have to go find resources. The syllabus is there. It's ready to roll out. You have support from CDPC. You have peer support when you go to your workshops. When you take your students to workshops, students meet other students from their other schools, and they can engage in DevEd issues on an informal level. And eventually, as the years go on, DevEd issues becomes a topic of conversation in the corridors of your school.
It gives me great satisfaction as well to see them grow in confidence and to grow in terms of not just the curriculum growth and knowledge, but also personal development. And they go out there with a desire to do something, to be an agent of change. And What I suppose, I always think of the words of Nelson Mandela a number of years back now when they had the Drop the Debt campaign, and one of the inspiration, part of his inspirational speech was to the young people of the world. He said, sometimes it takes a generation to be great. You can be that great generation. But they can't be that great generation on their own. You know, they need the foundation, they need the education, they need the doors opened, or they at least need the doors, need us to point to the doors that they can open themselves.